Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? For me, it's a bit early in the morning. It's currently 7:40. I did not sleep well last night. It was raining pretty hard here. The power went out, and at least for my house, when the power comes back on, my alarm clock shrieks in terror, basically saying, "Hey, could you reset me?" And that woke me up around 5:20 this morning, and I've stayed up ever since. I could not fall back asleep. So I'm up, I'm wide awake, and I did check the weather today, and it's not supposed to rain. It's supposed to be overcast all day, which means it's a good day to go work on the Partscaster. I already talked about my plans for this guitar in the previous episode, the pilot episode. You can check that out here up in the little card system as well as down below in the description. But just as a brief summary what I want to do to the body, I just want to take all the black paint off of it and make it a natural body, much like Steve Vai's Strat or my JLAndersonMusic Telly. When I was doing research on how I can take the paint off of a guitar, I came across a couple of methods. The most common one was use a heat gun and a putty knife. Now, I have no idea if we own a heat gun, and I have no idea where I would find a putty knife. We own a putty knife, I've seen it before, however, I don't know where that is, so that is right now out of the question because I don't want to go digging around for it. The second most common thing I seen was to use paint stripper, and once again, that's a thing that I don't know is around the house. So if we don't have those two things, how exactly are we going to take the paint off of this guitar? The answer is pretty simple. Sandpaper. Or, as Chris Jericho eloquently calls it, Sandpaper. Is this a bad idea? Who knows? I'm gonna find out so that way you don't have to. And obviously we're not gonna do this in the house, so let's go outside. Outside, and this is going to be our workbench for the day. This is mainly the table that I use when I record videos outside. You see we got the guitar body here, and we got our Sandpaper. This is 314D, if that means anything to you. And we also got a can of compressed air, mainly so we can blow all the dust and sand particles out of the way if this thing stays in. There we go. Anyway, let's get to sanding. Well, look at that! Look at that! So I'm gonna take, but you can see we're finally starting to crack through the paint on this side, and also right here around the pickups. Now, you may be wondering why I'm doing it around the pickguard area, even though it's gonna be covered up, and that's just so that way everything's even. And the really frustrating thing is on this side, we're not getting through the paint at all. We're getting through the paint over here, and I think I've barely sanded this bit down compared to all of this. You see, we are finally getting through the wood on this side, which makes me really happy. So far, it's been 20 minutes since we started sanding, I want to say, but we are finally getting that wood grain on this side where we've been working. I decided just to do one side at a time, just keep going up and down instead of like going all around. Maybe that'll work for me, who knows. 40 minutes, and this is what we got so far. Honestly, I'm really digging this. I was scared to see what would look like underneath of the paint, but honestly, it looks super good, and I really like it. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, go eat lunch, dump the footage on the GoPro, because I want to time lapse all of this, make sure we get from the start to the very end of the process. Are there a lot of faster ways of doing this? Absolutely. Am I enjoying doing this? Yeah, I am. It's nice, it's calming, and honestly, I enjoyed like just slowly uncovering this. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat lunch. Okay, I'm thinking change a plan for now. What I'm gonna do, bring it back lower, is going to finish off this little section right here. Tomorrow, I'll start going this way, so I'll go this way. I want to get these little doodads right here, as well as the strip right here. So the rest for today, this part, this part, this part, this part. And I'm going to turn the GoPro off, because I'm going to take my time with this, because my wrist is getting sore, and the GoPro is almost at critical battery. So, alright, and we'll be back tomorrow. Oh, there was a lot of dust in that snap. What if we climb? Whoop. So the GoPro has 3 minutes of footage left. We got a lot done today. We got the entire front body done, which is super cool. Super happy to see the natural wood. But you can see that's in fact a 3-piece body, so that is really cool. And we're starting to work on the back. Now I have to get done soon anyway because I have class. However, I have 20 minutes and I'm gonna keep working on this to recap what I've done later. And the reason for this is because the GoPro, it takes a while for the footage to dump, takes a while for the GoPro to charge. So I'm gonna keep working on this for 20 minutes and I'll recap what I've done later. Day 2 recap, natural front, slowly getting there on the back. We got this nice little chunk of natural right here, and we'll do the rest another day. Eventually we'll get the sides, and as well as I should probably take these strap buttons off. But so far, really happy, mainly because all the front's done. Day 3 of sanding down the body, and today is going to be the last day we sand down this body, and I 100% guarantee it. And let me tell you why I'm so confident. Yesterday, after we got done sanding down the body, I noticed that I got a blister on my thumb, so we have it bandaged up today. And I also nicked my index finger on something, so that was bleeding, so I have 2 band-aids on my fingers today. Why am I so confident that we're going to finish sanding this if I can't hand sand? Because the sandpaper will go through the band-aid. Well, my friends, we got an upgrade. My dad's letting me use the Orbit sander, so I'm going to be using that. Thanks, Dad. We also got clamps. So in total of an hour and 24 minutes, the guitar is completely sanded. Like I said, we're keeping the inside of the trem plate its original color as like a little memento of what the original color was. Same thing I've done for my EVH LA1. We're keeping the inside here black. We're also keeping the neck joint black as another little symbol of what this guitar used to be. As I said earlier, today was going to be the last day of me sanding the body, and it is 100% done. I've sanded all of it, in some spots way more than I should have. And some of you may consider that a botched sand job. But I want to show you something up here at the cutaways. You barely notice, like it looks even on the sides where it really went for it. You can barely tell that I over sanded the body. And I somehow saved this from being a botched sand job, which makes me really proud of myself. So how did I do it? Let me show you. I used Dunlop 65. Not this one, no, I used the one that you're not supposed to use, and I used the lemon oil on it. I put the lemon oil on all of the brighter spots on the guitar, and it blended them in all nicely. So now the guitar looks one color, everything looks like it matches. There are some darker spots on the guitar where it was originally brighter, but it doesn't look as bad as it did before, which again makes me super happy. So the body on this guitar is done, which means this episode is done. The next episode we will be working on the neck of this guitar. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this episode of the Partscaster build. I'll see you next week for another video guys. Goodbye and good night.